Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Read and Escape with Nina. Also, before we get started, please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified so that you will get a notification when I post a new video. All right, the books I wanted to cover today, as you can see from the title, will include some books with like a little bit of creepy vibes, but also deal with grief and guilt too. So the three books are Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby and Crossroads by Laurel Hightower and The Shuttering by Anaya Alborn. So I'm going to start with Razor Blade Tears first. This was my first time reading a book from this author. Um, in this book, we are following two male characters. One, and look, please excuse me, I took some notes because it's been so long since I read these books, and I don't want to forget what I wanted to point out in these books. So I do have my notes that I'll be referring to. But we're following two ex-cons, one black, one white. The black character is Ike, and the white is Buddy Lee. Both of their sons are married, and one day Ike receives a knock at his door from a police officer, which is alarming in and of itself. But because of his history with crime, he was extra alarmed when he sees the police officer at his door. And he tells him, unfortunately, that his son, Isaiah, and his husband, Derek, were murdered. So um, from there, you get the two dads who come together. They meet at the funeral, actually, because, like I said, they were both estranged from their sons. They didn't have a relationship with them because they didn't agree with them. But this is what brings them together. And they basically go through a series of events in the book where they have some time where they're grieving their sons. And um, since Ike had been out of prison for quite some time and he got his life back together and he owned his own lawn service business. He wasn't as interested in getting revenge for their murder as Buddy Lee was until he got the news that the graves of their sons had been defaced. And that's what was a turning point in the book. And that's when Ike reached out to Buddy Lee and he was like, okay, let's talk about this. Let's do this. How we're going to get this started and start trying to trace back and see who were the last people they were in contact with. And I got so excited when I saw that part because I was like, oh, they're gonna start their own investigation. Yes, let's go. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Like I said, the two became friends along the way. Obviously, because of their differences, there were some racial slurs here and there, but it turned out to be a good friendship. And unfortunately, they didn't get to show their sons how much they really loved them when they were here, but it really showed in the book when they came together and they talked about their sons together and when they sought out this journey to seek vengeance on the death of their son. So I really enjoyed this one. Um, a combination of grief, guilt, revenge, all in one. So this was a really good one. I love this thriller, and I'm actually looking forward to reading more by this author. Next is Crossroads by Laurel Hightower. This is a really fun one. Look at this small little cute book. It's only, I don't know how many, 107 pages. You can read it in a day, but packed with so much information. Such a good short story. This is a novella. Um, that definitely expands on grief. And I'm just gonna look at my notes because, like I said, it's been a while since I looked at this one. But this one we're following a mother whose son was tragically killed in a car crash, um, and so she's dealing with that. Waking up each morning, being lonely, sad, not sure how she's gonna be able to go on with her life after the passing of her son. And one day she's getting up and she's in the kitchen and she's getting ready, she's cleaning dishes and things like that, and she cuts her finger. And she doesn't think anything about it, except the fact she was like, oh, it's bleeding pretty heavily. That's odd. But she sort of just bandaged herself up, go about her day, and she goes to her son's grave to visit him, like she always does. And when she gets there, she's leaning over his grave and she's talking to him and she's being sad and all those normal emotions. And a drop of her blood drops onto his grave. And she didn't realize it at the time, but we're as the reader, we can see that. So a drop of her blood drops on his grave, and then she goes back home and she thinks she sees his ghost that night when she looks out the window. Oh, guys, oh my god, it's so creepy. It's gut wrenching as a mom to read it because you always put yourself in their shoes, but it's so creepy. And she later just somehow puts two and two together with the blood on the grave and all of that and seeing her son. So she starts, I'm gonna give it away a little bit. So she starts, when she realized that, oh, a part of me is keeping him alive, even though it's his ghost that comes back to her. So she would go back and just give a little bit more of her blood, so to speak. So she would do something else to herself so that she bleeds on his grave, and then he'll come back, and as he comes back he gets closer and closer to the house. So it started with him being out in the street and she can see his ghost out the window, and then all of a sudden he's like at the back door. So it's like the more she gives her herself, the more reanimated he is. When I was reading this, I was literally getting the creeps and feeling just very scared. Sometimes I had to put it down, like, oh, I'm getting so scared. But besides the scary parts, it really dives into the lengths that a mother will go to have her child back in her life after losing them. This is awesome read. I recommend it highly. Next, and the last one we have is The Shuddering by Anaya Alborn. I love this author, y'all. This is my second book by her. Absolutely loved it. It starts off with a group of friends who go to the Colorado mountains to just party, have fun, catch up on old times, just enjoy each other's company. And one day when they're out, I'm sorry, just let me just backtrack real quick. They're at this cabin, they're having fun and enjoying each other, and then all of a sudden they get this blizzard, which keeps them stuck at the cabin. They can't go back the day they originally planned. So with that comes some other events that follow, like the trees looking weird outside and creepy sounds and scratches on windows and seeing blood in the snow and not knowing where it's coming from. So they see this, and one friend wants to go out and try to investigate. And of course, they don't come back. So it's like a one by one thing and just trying to survive, figure out how to survive in the snow. I mean, they've been trapped in the snow, they're running out of food in the cabin. So they have to decide to hike out in the snow to get help, knowing that you have these weird creatures um, out there that they have to try to survive. Is really scary, really creepy. Has you on the edge of your seat the whole time you're reading it. You got to give it a try. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, yes, the other book I read by her was The Brother, and that was a good read too. But this one, I really enjoyed it. It left me, I was thinking about it days and days after I read it. It left me feeling like mixed feelings. I was like so sad, but in a good way that just shows you how great her writing is. So, yeah, I highly recommend that. So, those are my creepy vibe, grief filled, and revenge like books for the day. My parting quote to you is success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. And that is by the great Maya Angelou. So that's the video. Thank you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.